So I'm live?
What do you bring to the court, the sand court? They call it the court, right?
Yeah.
What do you bring? Like, what's your how an NBA jam?
Lateral agility and quickness.
Okay,
So I can get to balls where I'm diving or I'm running to them.
okay,
Yeah. So I would say my length, my athleticism in a scramble. Because when you play fours, it's co-ed. There's two people blocking, and there's usually not always a clean hit. So there's always like a tip, and it's going this way or that way.
right.
Lateral quickness to get that ball going.
So you're the
My
Mookie.
defense. My defense.
Who's
Long
your
way to say my defense.
Who's your NBA comp? TJ
Patrick
McConnell.
Beverly. Big
Ooh.
mouth, small impact.
That's wonderful. And so how the team end up?
We went 3-1 in pool play. For everyone listening, Smackfest, the largest co-ed fours tournament in the country.
Really?
Yeah, 130 teams. You know, there's 30 courts, roughly 5 teams per court, and then it's pool play. And you've got to win your pool play to advance, and then it's survive and advance to the finals. Okay. We went 3-1. We had a very, very competitive pool. There was one guy, I mean, I don't know how tall he was. He was definitely young. He could jump out of the gym. Like, it was a
smash.
Joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
you just feed
when we
him?
were playing, well, like he was like kind of playing, kind of like not serious. And then when he played us, he like took it up a notch. And then one of our players is like a coach here. We coach high school kids. Like, yeah, that guy goes to Long Beach State. I looked him up. He's already playing Pro 2s. He's like 21. And he was good. And then they had like this other guy who's like 6'6", young guy. They were stacked.
So they beat you. You won your pool, and then the next team you played.
No, they went 4-0. We went 3-1. We lost. We had to beat them to advance. We lost like 21-16. It was close. It was probably the hardest game. Well, let me tell you, the really good guy, he doesn't play all the time. He kind of sits out because they kill everyone. He played the whole game against us.
Okay. So it was a test. You give him a test.
We did.
There was an honest handshake at the end of the
There was.
match. Look you in the eye. Good round. Good game.
But the biggest loss were my flip-flops. I jumped in the ocean, and then they were gone. Someone 86 my flip-flops. I had to walk home barefoot.
What kind?
After a loss.
What kind?
There were like some Black Vans flip-flops.
Ooh, that's
Jen thought I lost them. I'm like, I'm not going to misplace my flip-flops.
Could you have lost them? Could you have lost them?
No, someone stole my flip-flops.
Well, maybe we can find them. Maybe our listeners will help you. Maybe. Well, I'm glad you rebounded. In the other team you abandoned, how'd they do?
They didn't even play. They're so devastated that I lost them.
Your lateral quickness.
Yeah, I'm really good in blowouts too.
As in?
No pressure. We're going to win no matter what. You know, like an NBA team's up like 20 points and they empty the bench. Yeah, that's when I eat.
You jump serving? Beverly's still in. They're up 50. Nice. All right,
let's get going. July 4th. It's this week. It's coming.
Ooh.
Hot dogs.
Fireworks.
The beach. Barbecues. That all is July 4th.
It is.
And remember when you were a kid and either you or your friend would buy illegal fireworks?
Define illegal.
They definitely were being sold on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
Or in a redneck town, and the guy selling it had no teeth, maybe a mullet, could be on meth, definitely on parole.
Okay. Like, let's not profile fireworks salespeople. Like, let's.
And then you buy it, and you're so excited, and you come home, and you want to show off to your friends, and you light it, and it's a dud. That is what the NBA free agent market's going to be like when it kicks off tomorrow. An absolute dud.
Okay, I'm going to draw on that same analogy. You walk up to a fireworks place, right? And they've got all these extravagant things. They got finales. They got everything. They got those big boxes that include everything you could need to blow off your hands or arms or whatever you want to do. And all of a sudden there's one that looks, you're like, why does that one cost so much? It's got so little in it. Bobby Portis got $44 million. Bobby Portis is one that has 3 fireworks in it, but it's $44 million. You are correct, my friend. The watered down NBA free agency. I mean, LeBron already opted in. Harden already signed.
Yeah.
You're kind of going, what's left? What is left?
Not a whole lot. I was looking at my notes. Because of the new CBA, they restructured free agency and all these aprons, second aprons, and luxury taxes. So the top 5 free agents all have player options, like LeBron James, Kyrie, Harden, Naz Reid, and Julius Randle. They either opted in or they declined, and they already agreed with a wink, wink, shake, shake deal with their teams. Like, those are the biggest free agents. Everyone else is Miles Turner, Jonathan Kuminga, Dennis Schroeder, Malik Beasley. Your boy Ty Jerome. That is a free agent market. And the reason why it's taken a hit is because all of these teams don't want to pay the penalty of being above the luxury tax or the second apron is one reason. The other reason is the cost of doing business with rookie contracts and vet minimums have gone up. So there's not a lot of cap room. The only team with room is the Brooklyn Nets, and they're in a constant rebuild. So there's no one on the market, and there's no teams out there with money. So the only moves we're going to see this week, if any moves, are going to be trades, because that is the only way you can acquire players in this new collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah. And it's cost control, right? You're going back to what you said about like an owner. I'd rather pay what I know I'm going to pay this guy with a player option or an opt-in or whatever than let him go and, what happens on the open market or who am I going to get in return? There's not a lot of fish in the sea.
No.
And Ty Jerome looks enticing. Like, Ty Jerome had one good playoff game. One. And that, just like the NCAA tournament, that could get him probably 20 a year.
Probably. Going back to your Bobby Portis analogy, like, Bobby Portis got money. Ty Jerome's going to get money. If you are a free agent and you are like a mid to an okay player, you're going to get paid. And so the NBA has shifted. And who is the genius? The team and the general manager of Sam Presti, because now it's all about draft, development, and cost control players. And they have that all. And all these teams are paying for these players and they're extending players. And look at my Los Angeles Lakers and my Golden State Warriors. They have all these players with $30, $40, $50 million contracts. They can't get anyone else. They can't build a team to compete with these other teams out there.
We're going to see much of the same. I think that's why everyone looked at the Thunder and what they did and just said, okay, we're going to see them a lot. Even though they're in the Western Conference. Eastern Conference is still a coin flip. But to your point, Bobby Portis getting 44. I had to click on his stats. I was like, what is it? He's putting up 13, like 8-2. Like, that's middling. That's, you give Ty Jerome enough minutes, he could probably put that up. Like, let's be honest. But you're right. There's not going to be any good big splashes this year. Harden's already signed. LeBron opted in for what, 56 mil?
52.
That's crazy. Crazy money.
It's going to be 40. Like D'Angelo Russell and Josh Giddey. Those are going to be like the headline marquee signings this offseason.
And those aren't needle movers, are they?
They're not.
Josh Giddey. Giddey's nice.
He's nice, but he
just needs to look in the menu instead of ordering. That's his whole problem. Jeez. Come on, buddy.
Let's order up this podcast. Hello and welcome to Big Ben and K-Win. Each week we broadcast live on YouTube. More of an audio podcast person. Download, listen, subscribe, 5 stars, anywhere you get your audio podcast. If you're listening to this live, drop your comments below. If you're listening to this on demand, drop your comments. We'll still get at you. Today, we are going to talk about maybe some NBA. We already talked about the dudded free agent market, but we're going to talk about Clayton Kershaw. He's going for 3,000 wins. We're going to talk about Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Big Ben's going to talk about the NBA draft and much, much more.
Where do we want to start? I was going like this, hoping we'd start with the hot dog eating contest because I'm picturing myself and what I do leading up to the hot dog eating contest. I'm kind of stretching the throat, making sure my neck's good, those types of things. I think don't you
You got to
have
elongate the neck.
you do. You really got to, and then make sure like your whole sinus cavity is ready to go. Like you probably have some, what's that called? The menthol on your nose, just so you're just completing everything. And then, I don't know, loosen up the britches, of course. But I mean, these guys, athletes,
Yeah.
peak athletes. Don't you have, who's competing this year?
We've got Joey Chestnut. The GOAT is back. He could not compete last year because of a contract dispute.
Ooh.
He has an endorsement deal with Impossible Foods, and Nathan's thought that was a conflict of interest, so he could not compete. But he is back this year, and he is ready to win it again. He's won 16 times. He's going for the 17th mustard belt.
Mustard belt.
Coney Island, this 4th, 9 a.m. There's nothing like watching someone eat 70 hot dogs and then getting your 4th of July ready.
Joey Chestnut. He's it's an American name. The guy bleeds.
He's from the Bay Area. He's from San Jose.
Really? He
Yeah.
bleeds. And he's been around so long. We had Kobayashi back in the day. And then Joey Chestnut supplants Kobayashi as the king of hot dog eaters. And to think that he couldn't go last year because he represented a plant-based meat. And I mean,
that has nothing to do with eating hot dogs, though. It's just a contract.
It is. Well, but can we get him like vegan hot dogs or something like that? Or would that just tilt the scales a little too far?
It depends on what Nathan's is serving up. Nathan's got to cater. There's got to be a vegan star out there who wants to compete.
There you go.
The contest.
Impossible Foods. Sorry, Joey.
Yeah.
Impossible Foods is
in this day and age.
Who else is competing against Joey?
I sent you an email. Do you want to take a look at that email?
I know I have it in front of me. So the reason I brought it up in Joey's name, you have some backstory, but I want to get into, as you tell yours, I'll tell mine. So next up is Jeffrey, notably spelt with a G, so Geoffrey Esper. He's a consistent runner-up. He's a strong contender. He placed second back in 2023. And let's see if Joey Chestnut slips up. They say Mr. Esper might win it. His odds are 16-1.
So Esper is like the San Francisco 49ers under Kyle Shanahan.
Okay.
They are consistent runner-up when it matters in the Super Bowl. And this is the Super Bowl of Nathan's hot dog contest, and he is not going to beat Joey.
Jeffrey Esper, spelt with a G, is definitely not a winner in my book. Just the name alone. Like, it just sounds like an Esper is really close to, man, I don't want to even bring up his name because I think he's affiliated with Robert Kraft and a few other high-scale people. But I'm going to miss it. Yes, Epstein Esper. What did he say? I think he would run in that crowd before he's a hot dog eating.
We might get subpoenaed if they hear the word Epstein in our podcast.
All right, next, Patrick Bertolotti, last year's champion. Well, Joey Chestnut was out. 58 dogs and buns. He'll be defending his title, even with the champ. Do you think he'll intimidate Joey Chestnut as he walks up there with? Does he get to wear the mustard belt? Even,
he should.
He should.
I mean, you should be able to carry it the whole year, right? It's like the Stanley Cup.
I would. I would wear that thing everywhere. Wake up with it. Put it on. Shower. Put it on. All right. Give me your take.
If you remember in 95, 96, Houston Rockets won back-to-back, and they only won because MJ was retired. And your boy only won because Joey Chestnut was retired. He is like the Houston Rockets of this hot dog eating contest.
Ooh.
I want to go back to Joey because you didn't let me give my Joey analogy.
Okay.
He is excuse my language, he is the big swinging dick of this contest. He is the guy. He is the GOAT. He is either MJ or LeBron, depending on when you were born.
I'm not going to argue that. Patrick Bertolotti sounds like he's a left winger for a WHL team. Like that guy does not sound like someone who's eaten a lot of hot dogs. Sorry, Patrick, you will not be winning. James Webb from Down Under. Did I get that right? Down Under. It's Dingo. What else do we got? Kangaroos. Webb is formidable. He finished third in 2024. His odds are at 20-1. Okay, I want to go back to the odds after we're done wrapping up here. Okay. Give me your best, James Webb.
So I'm a Barrie guy. St. Mary's basketball program in Moraga. They have a lot of players that come from Australia. There's a pipeline, Australia to Moraga, St. Mary's. But the Gales can't break through. They can't get to the Final Four. They've gotten one Elite Eight, 2 Sweet 16s they can't break through. And this guy, Webb, can't break through either.
James Webb, I think there's probably 7 James Webbs out there that are all senior sales engineers for cybersecurity teams.
Yeah.
Companies. James Webb is not winning it. He's more focused on his blue blockers that he's going to wear while he, reformats some hard drives. Nick Weary, top rank eater. It's good. Looking to push strong. 40-1 odds.
Okay.
40-1. Nick Weary.
Nick is like your Seattle Mariners. He just really isn't a contender this year.
He looks good in the first half of May and then falls apart. Mr. Weary sounds more like he is on the there's the PGA Tour, then there's like the Corn Ferry Tour, and then there's like the Tertiary Tour, like that's played in Scottsdale. He plays on that tour and barely finishes in the top 5. Mr. Weary is not going to win. But I have a question for you. Where are you laying your money?
It's not sexy, but I'm betting Joey, even though you're not going to win very much money. And then I would probably go, I'm going Webb.
Are you?
I mean, you got to play the odds.
Yeah. You know what? This should be like how many, are these all the participants?
No, these are the top 5.
Okay.
Is there a DraftKings? Should we DFA this?
No, win play show. There got to be a win play show. How fun would that be? Come on, you got a trifecta going. Like, let's go. We got to do it. We got to find a way to do it.
Call Weezy and ask Weezy to call his bookie if we want to win play show.
Do we have money? We have money. We have some money. We can
put some money in the account.
We can do a little trifecta. Okay. Nathan's hot dogging. Why hasn't Hormel or anyone stepped up? Like, is it because Nathan's is a New York-based hot dog?
I think they have the rights to it.
What if there was an Impossible Meat vegan hot dog competition directly, like during the same time, and aired on like some ESPN Ocho? Yes.
Well, you've got the NFL, and then is it the Canadian Football League?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? And then you've got that league where The Rock. What was that football league?
Oh,
where XFL. They had He Hate Me?
XFL.
So we should start a competitive hot dog eating league.
Only for vegans, though. It's just only for vegans. But I say that, and when you made the comparison to the U.S. versus, it very much would be like the CFL. Like people would be watching the vegan one, like, oh man, look at them eat that. Really, where you look over at the true pork meat combo or whatever it is, and they're just down the gullet. All right, let's get off hot dogs.
Let's get off of it. You want to go NBA draft or Kershaw?
Yeah, I do. I do want. Well, now go to Kershaw. Go to Kershaw.
Okay. Clayton Kershaw is 3 strikeouts away from 3,000 career strikeouts. And why is that important? We may never see another 3,000 strikeout pitcher in our lifetime, Big Ben. Active pitchers with 3,000 strikeouts. Let me get to my notes here. You got Justin Verlander, 3,400 strikeouts. Mad Max, 3,400. And Kershaw will be 3,000. But after that, pitchers aren't pitching 7, 8, 9 innings. No. They're pitching 4 or 5 innings. The next closest is Chris Sale. He's got 2,500. But I don't know if he could pitch 4 more years at this level because there's not any more 200-a-year strikeout pitchers that last because of Tommy John injury. and max velocity in lower innings.
How many pitchers in the 3,000 strikeout club?
Oh, there's a way I can find that out real
Please do.
quick.
Because,
Okay.
like, you're exactly right. Pitchers aren't, they say pitch to contact, whatever, save your arm, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the narrative is any given year around pitching, you still guys just throwing cheese these days. But again, they're only throwing heat for 6 innings and they're bailing, and that's gone are the days of Kerry Wood, and gone are the days of just letting guys mow innings and mow batters for 8-9. Like, it's just, there's guys that have no hitters going. They're pulling them in the 7th. Like, it's ridiculous.
So there are 20 pitchers, if this source is right, that have 3,000 or more. So listen to some of these names: Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens, Steve Carlton, Dwight Gooden, Phil Niekro, Gaylord Perry, Pedro Martinez, Bob Gibson, John Smoltz, and the great Cy Young. I left a couple people off there, so don't at me. I don't have time to go through it all. But my point is, they're going to have to change the criteria to get into the Hall of Fame from a starting pitcher. It used to be 300 wins, 3,000 strikeouts. There's a dying breed. I think Verlander, Kershaw, and Scherzer are going to be the last 300 win, 3,000 pitchers. Now it's going to have to be, how many Cy Youngs did you get?
Yeah.
Maybe it's an ERA title or a strikeout title from that year. I feel like they're going to have to completely change the criteria for the Hall of Fame.
You and I are both data guys. You know this. Like, they can look at historical previous data, right? Because they're all it is, wins, losses, titles, whatever it is. But you're saying that the strikeouts are probably going to be nullified a bit to where.
Oh, the overall strikeouts.
Right. Yeah. So they'll have some subset of data where they'll be able to look at it and go, from a comparison standpoint, innings pitched, blah, 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 batters faced. They'll have something to come out, and rather than that 3,300, they'll come out with some sort of algorithm or data that, what I'm saying is,
it's going to be like quality starts.
Exactly. Like, it will pivot to something that's easier to achieve today. Yeah. Let's just say it that way.
But congratulations to Clayton Kershaw.
The nastiest 12-6.
Yeah.
12-6.
And some people love him. Some people hate him. I'm just sad to say this. Once Kershaw retires, I think this is why he decided to play one more year, obviously, to get 3,000 strikeouts. Verlander's on the tail end. Scherzer keeps getting hurt. Like, we're going to see, this is a dying breed of starting pitchers who would grab the ball and go 7 or 8 innings, and you could save your bullpen. Like, those days are gone. Those pitchers are gone.
It's all you bullpens are like, who's my high leverage guy? You build a team around your bullpen to come in at certain situations. The starter's great. Just get me to 6. Give me that quality start. That's what you like, that you laud. Just get me less than 3 runs and get me to 6 innings. And you're right. You rarely see, like, remember Pedro would pick up the ball and be like, you're not taking it out of my hands until I tell you are. Like, that's like, they would dominate. They would wave off their pitching coach. Like, no, just go sit down. I got this.
Kurt Schilling, Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan. They would throw hard, throw long innings, throw a lot of innings. It's a dying breed. We're not going to see this anymore.
We aren't. What do you think it is? Just people scared of the arms? Like, I also think of it this way too. Players are getting paid a lot more. Like, you lose a starting pitcher, and then and it's guaranteed, right? I mean, last thing you want to do is go crash the Ferrari, trying to impress your friends. So
I think it's multiple things. I think pitchers aren't training to throw 6 or 7 innings because pitchers don't throw 6 or 7 innings, so they're not able to do it anymore.
You're right.
And now they just throw as hard as they can because they know they're only in there for 4 or 5 innings. Whereas before, you're like, oh, I'm going to go through the lineup 3 times. I'm going to spot my pitches. I'm going to save my heater a little bit. Now it's just like flamethrow, bring someone in, flamethrow.
Yep. And it's made like, is it Hader? Remember Hader? Like he was the first guy where they came out and they're like, man, this guy's dead nails in the eighth or whatever, ninth. And just like that, you kind of looked at that and I think teams look at that and they go, well, rather than run our pitcher out, let's just go find some guys that are just nails for an inning and we'll get a bullpen on the back end, save the guy some arms. So, or some balls and strikes, some pitches, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. And Hader was all the talk, and we don't really hear that much.
No.
In other news, Shohei Ohtani threw 101.
101.3.
Yeah.
101.3. Just, God, that's first thing I read on ESPN. Wow. What are we supposed to say? Oh my gosh.
It's not like he won or lost. The Dodgers won or lost.
No, he threw 101.3. What is this has become like, at games, I went to a game today. It was the Aqua Sox, and they are the high A ball team. And they had a bouncy house, and then they had a setup where it was a bouncy house, but it was a pitching thing.
Okay.
With
speed
pitch. Kids were lined up, and just every kid gawking at every other kid who would, buckle 60 if they hit 6. Oh my God! That's what we're doing in Major League Sports. We're just sitting there watching a radar gun go, oh my, he threw 101.3. Like, put it in the headline. That's easy enough. Imagine you had to write that article. Shohei threw 101.3. Send.
It's the YouTube and click generation, right? It's the Sports Center dunk, the 101, the one-handed catch. But did the team win? Did that play or that pitch contribute to the win? No one cares about that because it's all about clicks.
We're no longer bearing the lead, K-Win. Just showing goodness. All right, NBA draft.
Well, we don't care about the clicks. That's why we're going to talk about the NBA draft.
NBA draft. Snooze city. And I don't know.
They should have had Steph Curry like this.
They needed to have. This was so hard to follow because before they'd come up to every pick, they would talk about the previous pick that was traded for the rights to go to and who was going to where. They had to have I think guys were standing next to each other at times and just switching hats. And it was the most confusing thing I'd ever seen. I don't know how you improve that, but like literally, I think you have all the guys drafted and then you have to like switch certain.
I couldn't keep up with it.
No, you couldn't switch the mascots and so forth. And then I saw there was a guy from Washington State. The guy had come from Eastern Washington University. I don't think he played all that much even. And Davis Riley brought him over. And he went, I think, in the lotto. I think he was 9. I think I might be wrong. I think I'm right. 9.
You're right. Theo was barking. I'll find him.
Either way, like this guy was maybe, I think he was a nice player for us. But I mean, when you're grabbing a guy from Wazoo that came from Eastern Washington, I mean, there's Rodney Stuckey that came from Eastern Washington, but
he was the 11th pick.
In the lotto?
Howard.
Yeah, in the lotto? Like hopes and dreams and wishes and maybes and I don't know, but let's draft him. But that's how it was. No longer are you like picking for, position. You're just picking the guy with the most upside and hope you hit it. Like that's the name of the game. So that's why you see a lot of guys like Hunter Dickinson. He got a 2-way contract. Like that guy was I think first team all NCAA 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's literally you almost want to find a guy that hasn't played all that much that no one knows anyone about. Like that's where scouting is going to become so vital. But it was intriguing to me to see that there's no longer drafting for what your needs are. It's risk draft at all costs and get in front of the team that thinks that likes the player too. So just jump them, forego future draft picks, find a risky proposition and hope it hits.
Yeah. You want to draft someone who can shoot or has the ability to shoot and play defense. Like that's really what the NBA is about. It's about guarding multiple positions, being long, being a wing, being a little like me in volleyball out there defensively. In the NBA, it's shooting and defense because there really weren't that many so-called superstars, right? Like Cooper Flag, I think he's going to be really good. NBA All-Star, I think he'll be good. Harper, I think he'll be solid. Ace Bailey, we'll see. But beyond that, the last couple of years, it's been a lot of maybe 7th, 8th, 9th rotation off the bench kind of guys. So if you're going to draft someone who's going to be off your bench, you might as well go with the highest potential, the highest risk to see if you can hit a home run.
Jalen Wales, who's also Coug, stands out to me because he was drafted, I think, 18th and he was a guy that was a nice player again for us, but like not Clay Thompson, right? That's how but he had a good rookie season. I think he was
Great
first
rookie
team.
season.
Yeah, first team all rookie. And so to your point, it's like you don't get the guys that are big, flashy, like Walter Clayton Jr. I think he went late in the draft or late in the first round.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. It's accolades don't matter.
He was a first team All-American.
I know.
Carried his team 30 points.
He was the Kemba Walker of this year, but yet he Kemba went what, 3?
He was top 10, I believe. But it's almost like if you stay till like your junior or senior year, or if you're
something's wrong with you.
Anywhere from 21 to 23, like there's a red flag. You can't get any better, which is crazy. You're telling me someone can't get better at 22? You got to be 18 to have a higher ceiling?
I mean, I think there's just the development factor, and more than likely in, less miles on your knees, injuries, whatever it may be.
But I think it's an excuse for teams to draft these players and hide behind the potential. Like, we're rebuilding. Look at this potential. Like, don't you want to win now at some point?
Yeah, don't draft the guy that might win you a game.
The Brooklyn Nets are the only team with cap space. They're always rebuilding. They're always drafting. I think they had 5 players drafted. It's a numbers game. If you had, 13 players last year, you're bringing in 5, you're going to cut some of these players.
What would be the predicted, plus minus? Like, you could plug them in and kind of see. I think you can do that. And in baseball, more often than not, they can, look, okay, you put this player on the team, positive wins, negative wins. Yeah, you could, here's a tried and true guy. He's going to probably win you 1.5 more games. They're like, this guy could lose you 7 or win you 10. They're like, that's my guy. I want that. I want the risky proposition. I want the guy that I have no idea what's he going to do. But again, to your point, if I draft all these tried and true guys, well, then people are going to expect me to win and deliver. So, and that's why there's so many draft picks traded. It's insane. It's insane.
Crazy.
Mom, I'm going to Toronto. Next 10 minutes later, Mom, I'm going to Milwaukee. Mom, I'm going to OKC. No, Mom, actually, they traded my wife to LA. No, I'm headed to Miami.
Woo. Think about your Instagram handle. You're like, Grizzly, power forward, number 12. New York Knicks, small forward, number 3. Sacramento Kings, point guard, combo guard, number 2.
They should do that. Netflix does I love Netflix documentaries. They're pretty good, in my opinion. They should do one on NBA rookies. Try soup to nuts. Because I want to see them pre-draft process. What's their thought? What's the agent tell them? Ace Bailey this year. I want to know what he was being told. Yeah, what's going on behind the scenes, and I don't know.
Did you see Shooting Guards on Netflix?
Oh, I did. Gilbert Arenas and Javaris.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was wild.
Yeah,
Gilbert Arenas is a interesting dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's
different, right?
He's a provoker, is what he is. He's a provoker. He's a different one. Yeah, and he can touch. He may not mean to, but he can touch. Hit the wrong chord on you, and all of a sudden.
What do they say on there? Don't mess with Gilbert because he's willing to go over the line
exactly
to get in your head and to do something. He's always going to win the prank.
Kind of like you are to me, drinking your magic mind in front of me. Me thinking, man, I could really use that. And now you're going to perform better on the podcast than me. And now you're using performance-enhancing drugs.
Well, it's clean. It's sharper, clean energy.
Let's get out of here.
Well, tonight's Sunday night sushi.
That's where you're going?
That's a Winn family tradition. Every Sunday we do Sunday night sushi. That's why I'm so excited.
Wait, you're gonna make?
I got sushi coming.
You haven't eaten yet? Oh my goodness! We eat at 5:30. Actually, I ate rainbow popcorn, a hot dog, and I forget what else.
That was lunch. That wasn't dinner.
No, that was dinner. Well, no, I ate some chicken and salad and some bread. You don't really eat meals. Like I just don't eat meals. It's like
Is that because your kids are just running around?
yeah, and you kind of just. I'll give you an example. You go to a Mexican restaurant.
Ooh.
You, I don't really eat the meal. I just try to shovel it in my mouth when I'm. And then you get home, and then you kind of scrap or eat snacks after that. I mean, there's no meals. Okay, when a meal is like you sit down, you enjoy just kind of relaxing, you get
What
eat.
about getting a to-go box and then when they're sleeping, you
We
eat it?
we did. And when they're sleeping, it's after 8, so like, it's all right.
It's a tough life.
Nope, it's not. It's rewarding. It's nice. It's fun. It's awesome. And snacks are really good. I dig snacks. Not about snack
You
people.
know what's not awesome?
What?
The NBA. I don't like the way it's trending. Game 7
Thank
was
you.
kind of a snoozer. The draft was a snoozer. Free
It's,
agency is a snoozer. We might drop NBA from this pod.
NBA is bad. It is horrible. When's the expansion announcement coming? That's the only thing that would save me. I don't know if they are. Again, I literally think the negotiation is between going international and Vegas and Seattle. And I think Silver's saying we got to go international because we're saturated and we're never going to beat the NFL.
You're right.
We're saturated. We're done. This is as
They
good
need
as it's going to get.
more marketing and TV money and all that money so that these players. Maybe he constructed the CBA on purpose like this so that they have to go international to make more money to be there.
Thank
There's no
you.
wheeling and dealing
Exactly. That's what you
for
do.
contracts.
You force it. You say, we want expansion, but we're going internet. I guarantee they're going to go down. We will see the Mexico City um, Liberos
I was wondering where you're going to go with that name.
and the they go to Canada. The
The
London.
the Madrid Mighty
Ooh,
Warriors.
I'm like, come on, that's not.
Oh, there's our Warriors. The
It's,
Madrid,
give me a little Spanish.
the Madrid Champions.
Champions. I like that. Let's
There you
go. Let's
go.
get out of here. Let's
Let's get out of
champion
here.
out of here.
At Big Ben Kwin _ at Big Ben Kwin _ anywhere you use your social media. That's X, that's TikTok, that's Instagram, that's Threads. Don't forget, download, listen, subscribe, 5 stars. Each week we broadcast live on YouTube, and you can watch us on demand on YouTube as well. I'm
Oh,
Kwin.
Spotify
He's
video.
Big Ben.
Spotify video. I got a new car. And it plays
Spotify
like,
video. Yes, check us out.
boom. I'm gonna play it.
What are you doing for the 4th?
I am headed out to Tam O'Shanter. It's a nice little community. They have a golf cart parade. They have fireworks. They have a temporary tattoo station where you can go get a temporary tattoo, face painting, all types of fun stuff. I think a pool. I'll probably just hang out and
What temporary tattoo are you going to come on next week?
ooh, I'm gonna put one right here behind my ear. get something.
Well, with that hair and that tattoo, I might try to buy some illegal fireworks from you.
They're not illegal if they're on a reservation. They're not illegal. There's ones that are
But if
prepackaged.
I get them illegally and I sell them to you, they are still illegal.
Very true. Very true. All right, it's 9 o'clock. Let's go to bed.
So
Boom.